Welcome to Cardboard Box. Today we're going to look at Machine Robo, Revenge of Cronos, Missile Tank Robo, number 8 in the Machine Robo series by Action Toys. The box tells me that the design of this toy was by Awaken Studio. You may think this toy is based on an old GoBot design, but you'd be wrong. Oh, it's tied to an 80s cartoon, but that cartoon is Machine Robo, Revenge of Cronos. The Japanese anime came out in 1986. It featured character designs based on the Machine Robo toy line. Those toys were licensed in North America by TANK, who created the GoBots. The GoBots version of MR23 came in a yellow, orange, and a green color. The GoBots character was called Blaster. In Revenge of Cronos, he's known as Missile Tank Robo, or just Missile Tank. And he is of course a bright yellow-orange tank that shoots missiles. Pretty straightforward. I couldn't find any GoBots footage of him as a tank, but we can see how he appears in Revenge of Cronos. Oh, those Japanese and their wily tentacle animation. I don't know if the toy is based on any kind of real-world tank. There are real-life missile tank weapons that exist out there, and none of them are orange. If you know what sort of tank he's based on, let me know in the comments below. When I was a kid, most of the GoBots were the size of what we called dinkies. So you probably didn't call them dinkies, you probably call them Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars, or something like that. To us, they were dinkies, rinky-dinky little cars. This toy is larger than a Hot Wheels car, but it doesn't really scale with anything. He's sorta close to this little Optimus Prime, who's Legend or Legion class. Here he is next to a deluxe-sized Hasbro Transformer, Autobot Scoop, and again, Scoop looks bigger and out of scale with him. Scoop is the definition of orange. Missile Tank is not red, he's definitely not yellow, he is orange. And yet, if he's orange, what's the color of the orange? It's orange. So this guy is a lot more orangey red than either he was in the cartoon or the GoBots toy. The funny thing about the color orange is that it was named after the fruit and not the other way around. So what did people call the color orange before they saw the fruit orange? If you know, let me know in the comments. Also, I'm looking for something that rhymes with orange. Okay, I get the point. Moving on. With a clever bit of engineering, Missile Tank Robo can rotate his missile launcher 360 degrees, and the launch pad can hinge up about 90 degrees or a little bit more. I haven't seen this exact mechanism on any other Transformer, and I thought it was really innovative for this toy. That mechanism was one of the reasons I actually bought it. I was that interested to see how it worked. Aesthetically, the vehicle is quite garish. It's very boxy and it feels clunky, and there's tabs everywhere. There's 2 tabs on the top, 4 tabs on each side. That's 10 tabs just on the outside of this thing, not to mention all the tabs are inside of it. It's tab-tastic. And that jib-jabby bit that's sticking out of the end, that's not a trailer hitch, that's his gun. And it's tabbed in 3 different spots underneath. Trust me, it's not falling out anytime soon. There's something about that cockpit that reminds me of a Cobra tank or a garish Cobra helmet.
Looks cool to me.
What?
Yeah, those colors are hella red.
Anyway, I was talking about tabs, and where there's tabs there's slots. And those missiles can be slotted into various configurations. You have options, but I think this is the best version for the missile tank mode. It makes the most sense for an effective launch. 3, 2, 1, fire! With the missiles taken care of, we can now move on to transformation. Split the cockpit. Open up the rear a bit. You can take the gun out at this stage, or you can leave it in. Untab the orange shins from the thighs. Swing out the legs so they're vertical, and make sure the cockpit is perpendicular to the legs. Now comes the fun bit. Hinge the lower legs in on themselves, and then tab them in together. They hold really well. I haven't seen Transformer legs do that before, and I think it's a real innovation. Untab and fold out the arms. Hold up the back, and then hinge the front to meet up with it, and of course it tabs in together. The head hinges into place and tabs in snugly. The gun can be rotated down if you like. Rotate the head and we'll move on to the arms. Rotate out the fist and hinge back the panel cover. Hasbro, if you're listening, use panels to cover hollow areas. His upper arm coverings hinge down and slot into tabs on the forearms. And that is Missile Tank Robo transformed. Well, he's still missing something. His missiles! You can actually transform him with his missiles connected, but I don't recommend it. Man, that's a cool looking orange and silver robot. I never got this toy because of nostalgia. I'm not really interested in the character. I just thought, that looks cool. There's 2 colors of orange plastic here. There's die-cast painted orange. Some of the plastic is painted orange. The gunmetal gray plastic has a nice sheen to it. The kneecaps and eyes are painted red. Swirly gray silver plastic parts are used in some places to complement the silver that's throughout the figure. Oh, and the cockpit window is painted metallic blue.
Sweet cockpit, bro.
Sweet indeed. When I first saw pictures of this toy, I thought he had a combiner port that flipped out of his chest, but it's just a painted detail, an aesthetic choice. There are some details I'm not happy about though. For example, the hollowness that you see in the thighs there, I really hope that they would have taken care of that. There's also some hollow pieces in the back of his pelvis, in the back itself, and on the inside of the bicep. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad when you compare it to Hasbro's main line. This toy is a magnitude better in terms of quality than anything Hasbro is putting out these days. But how does it compare to the original Machine Robo or GoBot toys? The GoBot would have been a lot smaller, but I've enlarged it here just for comparison purposes. Wow, the proportions of these two guys are almost spot on. The missiles are much bigger on the new toy, and thankfully they updated that face. I see a lot of the design cues carried over. Knee and shin details, horizontal lines striping on the arms and the legs. Even the chest details are there, or have been developed further. He is missing that sweet red belt buckle though. Here he is next to his GoBot animation design. Man, that face. The design did change for some reason, I guess to match the green toy. But now he had 2 eyes and a set of lips. I guess that's an upgrade. I'm grateful for the current toy's faceplate.
Yeah.
The faceplate design can be seen in the Revenge of Cronos anime series. He has a single mono visor, just like in the GoBots cartoon, and he can be seen sporting that big red belt buckle. Come on, Action Toys, where's that iconic red belt buckle? There's even a slot on the front of them, a gap where a red belt buckle could go. Maybe someone on Shapeways can make one. In reality, it really doesn't bother me.
Yes, it does.
Moving right along, here he is next to the original packaging for MR23 put out by Bandai. And here's the packaging and art put out by Tonka for both the orange and the green. Remember kids, while GoBots were for ages 5 and up, these new Machine Robo toys are rated for ages 15 and up. Let's do some bot mode comparisons. Here's a Deluxe Combiner Wars Breakdown. Here's a Deluxe Scoop. He's really fitting in with the Deluxes now that he's transformed. You can really see the difference in quality here. Masterpiece Bumblebee. Bad Cube Huff. DX9 Salmor, an homage to Psykill. DX9's Kokomon, their version of GoBot's Crasher. So he's not really fitting with the Masterpiece of legs. Little Bitty Optimus. Masterpiece Spike. And of course here he is next to an orange. So he sort of scales with Deluxes, but not really. He doesn't really play well with others, except toys from his own series. Alrighty then, let's get to his articulation. His head's on a ball joint, it rotates fine. There's good down, not so much up, and a little bit of waggle. The arms rotate freely on ball joints. There's a cut at the shoulder, which allows him to do a T-pose. A clean rotation on this axis is a little impeded by that silver cylinder on the shoulder. The bicep swivel that's a little impeded by the fins of the missile. You can get around that by hinging the forearm slightly. Most of the time you're not going to want his arm straight like that anyway. The hinge at the bicep gives you greater than 90 degrees, and the wrist can rotate fully around. The missiles have 2 slots built into them, so you can position them either higher or lower on the forearm as you like. The missiles can be positioned on the back shoulder tabs, and as you can see there's a perfectly fine waist swivel. Again, the missiles can be repositioned. It kind of looks a bit dorky like that, but you can turn them right around. This makes more sense if you want to launch the missiles from his back. Those missiles are pretty versatile, but they're not his only weapon. He's got a somewhat odd looking short little rifle. It's molded out of the same gunmetal grey plastic as the tank treads. While we're here, we might as well talk about his fist ports. They're not the standard 5mm that we're used to. I'm not certain about their measurement, but I tried some Lego weapons with him and he holds them really loose. So they're bigger than whatever a standard Lego grip is. As you probably guessed already, those tabs on the side of the gun can hold the missiles. I guess it's for those times when threatening someone with a gun just won't do and you need something bigger and badder. They could have called him Missile Gun Robo.
Boo, that's lame.
Alright, I should point out that all his joints are friction based, but they're nice and tight and that gun is not going to weigh it down or make the arm move on him. But if he did get tired of slinging around that gun, he could put it on his back. Now it's a jetpack. Talk about playability. And there's numerous ways to adjust the missiles on his back in that gun. While we're on his upper robot bod, we might as well talk about one of my pet peeves. He has these double forearm fins, which are really just panel coverings for his bicep when he's transformed into tank mode. I think the new Power of the Prime's Rodimus Prime has the same problem. Maybe if he was a flying or an underwater robot, that would make sense aesthetically, but here it doesn't. Luckily, there's enough friction there that we can pretend it doesn't exist. Just fold it away. It doesn't seem to impede any movement in this position, and it looks pretty cool. What do you think?
Sweet elbows, yo.
His hips are a simple ball-jointed design, and combined with his waist swivel, he can touch his toes. Hey, what'd you find down there? Whoa, is that a Canadian penny? Those are getting rare these days. Say, if you give a penny to a transformer, does that make it a cyber coin?
Go back to Gobotron.
Okay, the legs can go all the way to the side, they can go all the way back, and all the way forwards. There's a thigh swivel that can go all the way around. I don't show it completely, but it is there. You can get a limited but decent range of movement from the feet. All his joints are nice and tight, and you should have no trouble posing Missile Tank Robo. He stands just fine by himself, but he also has a stand that he comes with. Go show the people your stand. Go on, get it. All the Machine Robo toys by Action Toys come with a customizable stand, but no instructions, so it's up to you to decide what kind of stand you want, and if you want to have it as a support for your figure. If you had multiple toys from these series, you could put these together as a chain base. Your only limitation is your own creativity. I did find that you could take the parts of the stand and put them on the toy, kind of make it into extra weaponry, or a flying harness or something like that. I'm not going to lie here, I'm probably pushing some of the tolerances on these slots and tab connections. Some of them are a little loose and others are a little tight. Personally, I don't really see the value in the stand. I'd rather they would have got rid of it. Maybe they could have lowered the price a bit. That would have helped because this is an expensive toy. Actually, when it comes to it, that's my major beef with this thing. It cost me roughly the same as if I bought 3 deluxe Transformers from Hasbro. It's roughly the same size as a deluxe, and it's much better quality, but it's not worth 3 times the price. It's a shame really because this is a well-made and fun toy. Regular Transformers should be made to this quality. Does this toy series need die-cast? Does it need stands? Action Toys should be commended on their high standards of quality. They're putting out a good batch of toys, but they're off the mark when it comes to price point. His engineering and transformation is innovative and fresh. He's a way cool looking robot, and the materials are great. But, as much as I enjoy Missile Tank Robo, and I really do, I can't recommend him. I learned a ton of stuff about GoBots and Machine Robo from making this video, and I hope you learned a little something too. Thanks for watching this stop motion review of Missile Tank Robo. So, what gets reviewed next? Will it be MP10P Shatterglass KO Optimus Prime? Could it be MP10B Black Convoy, aka Nemesis Prime? Or whatever's in the mystery box?
As always, you decide. Vote in the poll up above.
Thanks, little one. Did Missile Tank Robo miss the mark? Do you say no bots to GoBots and no go to Machine Robo? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching Cardboard Bots. See you next time.
Hey, robot. You ain't so tough. Your daddy was a bulldozer. Oh, fudge. We can talk about this, right, robot?
俺たちは最強のマシンロボ戦士やで。
I don't know what that means, but I gotta check you out. Look, Ma, I'm Chuck Norris.